Something is happening in your body right now. And I don't mean that spiritually, I mean it literally. As you watch this video, light is entering your eyes, traveling to the center of your brain, activating a gland that science has only recently begun to understand. Your skin is receiving frequencies, your fascia is conducting them, your DNA is responding. And if you've been feeling things lately, tingling, waves of heat, unexplained emotion, maybe pressure in your chest, and knowing that something is shifting, that is not your imagination. That is your body in the middle of a process it has been designed for long before you were born. Stay with me because what I'm about to share is the science nobody in the spiritual space is actually talking about. And once you hear it, you will never dismiss what your body is telling you again. I want to start by asking you something. Have you ever been in the middle of a completely ordinary moment? While driving, doing dishes, sitting in silence, and suddenly you felt a wave of something move through you. Not pain, not fear, but something else. A warmth, a recognition, a feeling like something just landed in you that you couldn't explain with words. Maybe your eyes filled with tears for no reason. Maybe your spine tingled. Maybe your heart expanded so suddenly it almost took your breath away. And then, because we've all been trained to do this, you probably looked for a logical explanation. Hormones, stress, too much caffeine, not enough sleep. But what if I told you that none of those explanations were wrong, but none of them were complete? What if what you felt in that moment was your body doing something it was designed to do since before you took your first breath? I'm Yune. I'm a physician associate trained in Western medicine, labs, diagnostics, clinical reasoning. I've sat across patients and read their numbers, interpreted their scans, explained their symptoms in the language of biology. I'm also a crystalline consciousness teacher. I channel, I receive transmissions, and I teach people how to awaken through their bodies, not despite them. I live in both worlds. And what I can tell you from standing in both of them, from the clinical and from the cosmos, is this. The science and the spiritual are not in conflict. They have never been in conflict. They are two languages describing the same extraordinary truth about the human body. And today I want to give you both languages at once, because you deserve to understand what is actually happening inside you. Here's what I find remarkable. In the spiritual community, we talk about light codes constantly, downloads, activations, frequency upgrades. In the scientific community, researchers are measuring biophotons, studying the electromagnetic field of the heart, mapping the light responsive mechanisms inside DNA. But almost nobody is standing in the middle of these two conversations and saying, these are the same conversation. That's what we're doing today. I want to be specific because I think the spiritual community has been missing a crucial piece of the puzzle, one that changes everything about how you understand what your body is going through. We've been talking about light codes as if they only exist in the subtle body, as if they arrive in your aura, your energy field, your chakras, and stay there. But the research tells a different story. Light codes, high frequency information encoded light, enter your physical body through specific measurable biologic pathways. And I'm going to tell you exactly how. But first, I need to tell you about something that happened to me. A few months into my awakening, I started experiencing something I couldn't explain medically. I would be in the middle of a completely normal day, seeing patients writing notes, and suddenly, without warning, these waves of dizziness would come over me. And as it was happening more and more, I was better able to put words to the feeling. It almost felt like a wave of lukewarm water washed over me, more through me. And it was always directional, coming from up here to down here. But these waves were so strong that it literally took my breath away. And sometimes I had to steady myself near a wall or a table I was at. Then my hands would tingle immediately after. As weird as it was, there was a strange sense of recognition. I wasn't concerned that it was pathological, but I was frustrated because I didn't know what was happening. And I'm supposed to know how the human body works, right? And this was happening during the same time that I was waking up to the fact that nothing around me is what it seems. It was wild. So I did what any clinician would do. I ran through the differential. Vasovagal response, hormonal fluctuations, anxiety, too much coffee, was I dehydrated? When did I eat last? Nothing fit, because what I was experiencing wasn't dysfunction. It was the opposite. It was my body functioning at a level I had never been taught to recognize. And here's what I eventually came to understand. Not just spiritually, but scientifically, my body was receiving. I was in the middle of an integration process that had a biological basis, a measurable mechanism, and a purpose far beyond anything my medical training had prepared me for. What I was experiencing was light codes entering my physical body. And once I understood how, everything changed. The frustration dissolved, the confusion dissolved. And in their place came something that I want to give you today: understanding. Because when you understand what your body is doing, stop fighting it. And when you stop fighting it, the process can actually complete. And it is a lot smoother. Let me start with something foundational. Your body is not just a receiver of light, it's also a transmitter. Every single cell in your body emits what scientists call biophotons, tiny particles of light produced naturally by biological processes. They have been measured, they are real. Your cells are literally glowing, not in a way visible to the naked eye, but in a way that sensitive instruments can detect and they can measure. And these biophotons aren't random noise. They carry information. The light your cells emit is coherent, organized, structured, patterned. It's signal, not static. Now here's where I want to bring in something that I think is one of the most important scientific concepts for understanding awakening. Think about how wireless communication works. A signal travels through the air, encoded with data. Your device receives that signal, decodes the information, and converts it into something you can use. Your body operates on a remarkably similar principle. Light waves carrying encoded information move through the field around you. Your body receives them. Your cells decode them. And that decoded information influences your biology, your nervous system, your emotional landscape, and your awakening. This is not metaphor. This is how your crystalline body was designed to function. There are 4 specific pathways through which this happens. I want to walk you through each one because I want you to feel this in your body as I describe it, not just understand it in your mind. Pathway 1, the eyes and the pineal gland. The most immediate entry point is your eyes. Light enters through your eyes and travels directly to the brain, including a small, remarkable gland sitting at the very center of your brain called the pineal gland. Now, most people know the pineal gland as the third eye in spiritual traditions, but here's what's fascinating from a purely biological standpoint. The pineal gland contains cells that are structurally similar to your photoreceptor cells in your eyes. It is, in the most literal sense, a light-sensitive organ sitting in the center of your brain. It responds to light frequencies. It regulates your state of consciousness. It produces neurochemicals that influence your perception, your dreams, your sense of connection to something larger than yourself. When light codes enter through your eyes, they don't just stop at the visual cortex. They travel deeper into the pineal, into the endocrine system, into the nervous system, into the cellular network. Your eyes are not just for seeing the physical world. They are antenna. And every time you sit in sunlight, every time you gaze at the stars, every time you watch a transmission like this one, your pineal gland is receiving. Let's move on to pathway 2, the skin and the fascia. Your skin is the largest organ. It is photosensitive, meaning it responds to light in ways that go far beyond what we were taught in schools. Your skin contains photoreceptors. It produces vitamin D in response to light, but that is just the beginning. Beneath your skin lies your fascia, a liquid crystalline network that runs through every inch of your body. Your fascia is piezoelectric, so when light frequencies contact your skin, they create subtle electrical charges in the fascia. Those charges run through the fascial network like signals through a fiber optic cable, instantly, throughout your entire body. This is why you sometimes feel a wave of energy move through you when you step into sunlight, or when you stand barefoot on the earth, or where you're in a high frequency environment and something in your body just opens. Your skin and fascia are receiving and conducting light-encoded information throughout your entire physical structure. Every time I walk barefoot on my lawn, and yes, I still do this every day, this is not just a grounding practice, it's a receiving practice. The Earth's electromagnetic field is communicating with my fascia, and my fascia is listening. The third pathway is your heart. And I want to be very precise here, because the heart is so much more than what we were taught. Your heart generates the largest electromagnetic field in your body, extending several feet beyond your physical form in every direction. This field pulses with every heartbeat, broadcasting information outward and simultaneously receiving information from the field around you. Research into heart-brain dynamics has shown that the heart's electromagnetic field carries information that influences the brain, the nervous system, and the emotional body. When your heart is in a state of coherence, when it's open, soft, and aligned, it becomes extraordinarily receptive. Light codes, high-frequency information moving through the field are received most powerfully through a coherent heart. This is why certain experiences hit you in the chest first. A piece of music, a transmission, a moment in nature, a sentence that lands like medicine. Your heart received it before your mind had time to process it. That is not coincidence. That is your heart doing exactly what it was designed to do. And here's the thing I want you to really hear. A heart that has been through pain, a heart that has learned to protect itself, a heart that has closed down to stay safe, that heart is not broken. It is just less open to receiving. And part of awakening, part of what the light codes are actually doing as they integrate through your body is gently, patiently, persistently reopening that field. Your heart is not the obstacle to awakening. It is the primary receiver, and it's learning how to open again. The fourth pathway is the most extraordinary, and it is the one that connects everything, your DNA. Inside every cell of your body, your DNA is not a static genetic code. It is a dynamic, light-responsive system. Your DNA emits and absorbs biophotons, those tiny particles of light your cells produce. And emerging research suggests that this biophotonic activity may be one of the primary ways your cells communicate with each other, not through chemical signals alone, but through light. Your DNA is essentially a biological fiber optic network, receiving, storing, transmitting light-encoded information throughout your entire cellular structure. When we talk about crystalline DNA activation, when we talk about dormant strands coming online, about your original blueprint being restored, this is what we mean on the physical level. Not a mystical event happening somewhere outside the body. It's a frequency upgrade braided into your biological processes. Your DNA becomes more responsive, more coherent, more capable of receiving and integrating higher frequency light information. Your body is not waiting for permission to awaken. It is already doing it, one photon at a time. And every sensation you've been feeling, every unexplained wave, every tingle, every moment of inexplicable knowing, that is evidence of that process already underway. I want to stop here for a moment because I know some of you watching this have been carrying something heavy. You've been feeling things in your body that you couldn't explain. You've been to doctors. You've had the tests. Everything came back normal. And yet you know something is happening. You feel it in your bones. You feel it in your chest. You feel it in the way certain words land in your body like they were written specifically for you. Maybe you've been afraid to trust that. Maybe you've been afraid that if you say it out loud, somebody will tell you you're imagining it, or that you're too sensitive, or that you're losing your mind. I want to look at you right now and tell you something I wish someone had told me long before I figured it out myself. You are not imagining it. You are not too sensitive. You are not losing your mind. You are a human being whose body is doing something extraordinary, ancient, and completely real. You are receiving. Your cells are integrating. Your DNA is responding. Your fascia is reorganizing. Your heart is reopening. And the reason it feels so big, so overwhelming, so impossible to explain is because it is big. It is the biggest thing a human body can do. It is the process of remembering what you were before the world told you to forget. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not doing it wrong. You are in the middle of the most sacred process a human body can undergo. And your body, this brilliant, ancient, crystalline body, knows exactly what it is doing. All it needs from you is permission to complete the process. So what does that actually look like? How do you support your body through this process? I want to give you 3 things you can start today. Not expensive tools, 3 simple body-based acts that create the conditions for light bodies to integrate fully. The first one is rest. Not sleep alone, though sleep is sacred and non-negotiable, but rest, the kind of rest where you are not consuming, not producing, not performing, just being. After any experience that moves you, a transmission, a ceremony, a video, a moment in nature, give your body at least 20 minutes of stillness. Your cells are processing. Your fascia is reorganizing. Your nervous system is recalibrating. Don't interrupt that. The second thing is water. Your body is mostly water. And water, as research into its molecular structure is beginning to show, is extraordinarily responsive to frequency. Drink more water during periods of activation. Bless it if it resonates with you. Hold it in your hands for a moment before you drink. Set an intention. Your cells are made of water. Give them the medium they need to complete integration. The third thing is earth contact. Bare feet on soil or grass or sand or stone. The Earth's electromagnetic field is coherent, stable, and grounding. When your system is receiving more than it can process, earth contact helps regulate the nervous system and anchor the new frequencies into your physical structure. This is not spiritual bypassing, this is biology. Your body was designed to be in contact with the earth. And when it is, it integrates more efficiently, more completely, more safely. And finally, the practice I want to leave you with, the one I use myself every time I feel a wave of activation, every time something lands in my body that I can't explain yet. I place one hand over my heart and one hand over my belly. I take one slow breath and I say these 3 phrases. I receive. I understand. Thank you. When you say, I receive, you signal to your nervous system that it is safe to open. When you say, I understand, you are not asking your mind to understand. You are telling your light body, the crystalline intelligence in your cells, that it is allowed to integrate what has arrived. When you say, thank you, you complete the circuit. Gratitude is one of the most coherent states the heart can generate. And a coherent heart is the most powerful receiver your body has. Use this. It is simple, it is ancient, and it works. Here's what I want you to walk away with today. Light codes are not a spiritual concept that exists outside of science. They are a biological reality that science is only beginning to fully articulate now. Your body, your eyes, your skin, your fascia, your heart. Your DNA is a sophisticated multi-pathway system designed to receive, to decode, and integrate light-encoded information. Every sensation you've been feeling during awakening is your body in the process of receiving and integrating. Not malfunction, receiving. And the most powerful thing you can do is not to push harder, not to seek more activations, not to consume more content, but to slow down and give your body the space to complete the process it has already begun. You came here to remember, not to learn something new, to remember. And your body, the ancient, crystalline, extraordinary body, has been holding that memory in its cells, its fascia, its bones, its DNA. It's been waiting for you to come home to it. You are not behind. You are right on time. And the universe, the field of intelligence that surrounds you and moves through you, has been sending you signals your entire life. Your body has been receiving them your entire life. The only thing that has changed is that now you know. If you're ready to go deeper, if you want to understand not just how light codes into your body, but how your entire crystalline structure was designed before you were born, Portal 1 of the Portal series is open. It's called The Body That Remembers Before You Do, and it will change the way you inhabit yourself. The link is below. And if you'd like to keep learning about the memory and the magic living inside your amazing human body, watch this next video in the playlist. I think it's going to land exactly where you need it.